The holidays start here at Baker's with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. You could do a classic herb-roasted turkey or spice it up and make turkey tacos. Serve up a go-to shrimp cocktail or use Simple Truth wild-caught shrimp for your first Cajun risotto. Make creamy mac and cheese or a spinach artichoke fondue from our selection of Murray's cheese. No matter how you shop, Baker's has all the freshest ingredients to embrace all your holiday traditions. Baker's, fresh for everyone. The holidays start here at Baker's with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're making a traditional roasted turkey or spicy turkey tacos, your go-to shrimp cocktail, or your first Cajun risotto, Baker's has all the freshest ingredients to embrace your traditions. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
All right, let's have a look at the underwear, shall we? Before we talk about royal families and whether Portugal should have one. We're here for the next, 30 minutes or so for the Iberian FM phone-in. We have been talking recently about whether people are Iberian, and we've got a nice collection of interviews with people who have come out of the closet and declared themselves proudly Iberian. We can talk to you, of course, if you are curious here on the Iberian FM phone-in. But we're going to talk about some bigger subjects. So you can call if you're in Portugal, you can call if you're in Spain, in the Iberian Peninsula, but you can call anywhere in Europe or America if the subject matter appeals to you. And I think we are going to grapple with some big subjects because there's some serious stuff going on in the world at the moment. I'm suggesting, that we carry on with our open-minded, open-hearted approach to talking about anything as long as it's in a respectful and legal way. So where we, definitely running away from the mention of my crocheted underpants. Okay, Bob, be like that. Before you go, though, have a quick look. There's a banana hammock, a budgie smuggler in a very nice new hipster style. Bought those up. I got you, I hope, Bob, before you ran away. Got those at the. Let me just give you a little picture show. But yes, open-hearted, open-minded here on the Iberian FM phone, and you can talk about what you want as long as it's legal and respectful, and we can have a conversation. Let's stay away from the put downs. Let's stay away from making people wrong. Let's talk about things you don't normally see in the news. Let's talk about things that are prescient to what's going on in the world at the moment. And my goodness, there is quite a lot going on. It's quite seismic, is it not, with what's going on in the world at the moment. So if it would help to talk, rant even, get it off your chest, talk about it, but with the aim of being resolved in the way that James talks about. Notice, choosing and acting. If we can be of service there, you can talk about things that are troubling you, troubling other people, bringing light rather than heat to conversations and subject matter. Let's do that on 913-590-303. So we were here outside broadcast with that view at the Quinta de Celia de Porto. Matty was up there, look. You can see Aquinta if you can read backwards. He's looking a bit serious. I hope you had a great time up there. That might be some of that Spanish wine that I tried over there. Biodynamic, organic, no sulfites. It was delicious. It's called Gulp. This lady was also there, and she has what look like a Tree of Life dream catchers. But if you look in the box, she also has crocheted phalluses. Not just crocheted phalluses, and forgive me, I forgot to get your name in all the excitement, but inside those cylindrical shapes of penises, basically, which is a tribute, I think, to the Caldas de Reina ceramics that are in the phallus style when Caldas was going through its phallus period, which it probably is now off, to be fair. And I did hear, I don't know what the female equivalent of phallic is, but there are some ceramicists dealing with the female counterpart currently in pottery over there. But those little crocheted phalluses there, you didn't think you'd be seeing this morning, did you? Actually have dog poo bags in them. So they are multi-purpose. Can you imagine being out walking your dog and you see a fellow dog walker stop to attend to the droppings of their pet. And they pull out a crocheted phallus, and you think, oh my goodness, what's going on here? I've heard about this dogging thing. And they just whip the top off, so to speak, and inside is a roll of dog poo bags. Isn't that handy? Isn't that neat? Matty, did you pick one of those up yourself while you were at Akinta's wonderful event that was Saturday and Sunday? We were broadcasting live from there. We were having a couple of fantastic segmented interviews with the founder, one of the founders of Akinta, Siobhan, and spoke to my mate Carl McAdam there as well. He popped up with us before he headed back to central Portugal, talking about how relatively helpful Fundão and Covilhã are as cameras to move to. That was the first part of the weekend. It was great to be up there. So that's the interview with Siobhan, and that interview with Carl McAdam will be up in the next couple of days. With Carl McAdam, we also talked about the garden, I think it's called, Leo Jux's idea to create a healing retreat centre for people with chronic illnesses in central Portugal. He's had quite a good reception from the Fundão municipality. He also talked about community life, community living, intentional, unintentional community in central Portugal. So expect an interview about that to hit the YouTube channel. On Sunday, yesterday, look, a black swan. Look, talking of spicy things happening in the world, you know what a black swan event is, don't you? Well, there's a black swan event. It happened in Caldas de Rainha yesterday. Black swan on the left, white swan, traditional swan on the right, if that's a way of describing it. And my son was trying to take the picture of a heart shape. He did a pretty good job there, didn't he, zooming in? It's a bit grainy, but look at that lovely lawn with dandelions and daisies and a yin and yang, a style photograph of black and white swans there. In the same park, I told you we waddled around with the ducks in the park at Caldas de Rainha, Dom Carlos Park. Look at these, reboçados, Dr. Bayard, watch out. There are now cough sweets. Actually, I don't know if they're cough sweets, but they are a lozenge, and they have hort in them. Look at this, the reboçados de Douro, Portugal. These were also found in Caldas de Rainha over there at the weekend in the Dom Carlos Park in the Smash Cafe. Also in the Smash Cafe, look at this bit of vocab for you. Viver e melhor que sonar. It's better to live than to dream. Ain't that the truth? Sometimes easier to dream than to live. But there you go. That's a really nice little carving on a tree by the Smash Cafe, which we love, there in the Caldas de Rainha Park, the Dom Carlos Park. Thank you to John, who went to see this fantastic beach. And we've got video. Actually, the videos are, we'll come back to the beach. I think that's Eshbon. I can't remember what it's called. I'll come back to that. I'll have a quick look while the video is playing. Look at these wonderful videos from John from the weekend. Portuguese river beach is at their best. Isn't that fantastic there? I'd have gone in. I would have gone in. Here's a bit more. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, you can call in on 913-590-303 if you want to talk about anything. The particular subject this morning, though, is about should Portugal have a royal family. Oh, no, before we go there, I've just shown you the videos from John's weekend. Let me show you the stills. So that was up there in the north of Portugal, and later on that same day, Esposende, the beach here that John went to, and decided to create a bit of beach art. If you've got any pictures of your beach art, do send them in. Same number, 913-590-303. Very beautiful, John, and good luck at your CEF appointment today. The end of that day looked a bit like this, thanks to Owen for these. Is that the same beach, Esposende there, Owen? These are absolutely beautiful, and I have one to add from my beloved Gralia as well. I really like that one. That's amazing. Look at that sky. There's Portugal. Don't go to France, OLP. And look at that. That's my Gralia picture last night. The sun was setting. Jimmy Chu was having a run around the hills. And I was able to take that picture with Piggy Pooper, my little terrier, as we sat and watched that sunset. Fantastic. I think that's everything from the picture deck for now. What's this? Superboc. Yeah. All right. I've shown you mine. There we go, which is the Superboc Abadia, the Abbey Superboc. This is Deagle's favorite, this stout. They do a stout as well, which he likes. Okay, let's have a look then at this royal family thing. Got another video to play you. This is happening on the Silver Coast. Would you go to this? Oh, I see. There's no music. Saturday, the 6th of May, 2023 then. Fun starts at 10 a.m. in the morning. Great Britain, the King's coronation. This is at the Waves Cafe in San Martino de Porto. Things going on like welly throwing, I think, and a tug of war. British favourites, classic fun, and a kind of street party vibe, I think. A finger buffet, only €10 a person, Saturday, the 6th of May, when, of course, the King of England will be crowned. I have used the phrase coronated, which, of course, I don't think it sounds like a bit of a Bushism. I don't think that is right, is it, coronated? But certainly will be crowned. The King Charles's coronation. He will be what? Charles the Third. I'm trying to log into. Why have I been chucked out of my own Facebook here? Oh no, I'm okay now. And I wanted to find some links here to the Portuguese royal family and the Spanish royal family, because the Spaniards, of course, still have a royal family. The Portuguese had one until around, I think it was 1932. And of course, as I say, the Brits still have a monarchy. And we can go to the New York Times to find out what's going to be happening, to learn a little bit more about that in just a moment. And I will also open up the Wikipedia entries for the Spanish royal family, find out how active they are in their society, and also what happened with Manuel II of Portugal. He took refuge in England, in Twickenham, funnily enough, not far from where I lived myself from time to time. Andrew Gilchrist, I think, will know Twickenham as a Surrey boy. I'm not invited, so I'm not watching it. Ooh, Lord Gilchrist, not happy about that. Portugal still, says Antonio F., has a royal family. Oh, so we do have a royal family here in Portugal. That's interesting. If you want to talk to us about that, Antonio F., do give us a buzz, 913-590-303. The lines are open for another 15 minutes or so. Until this phoning gets really spicy, we'll probably only do 30 minutes each morning in each session. But let's see what you've got to say this morning about royalty and the idea of that institution. Do we still need it? Portugal still has a royal family, then, says Antonio F., led by Dom Duarte Pio de Bragança. Bragança mentioned a few times this morning, and seat of the royal family, it would seem, but are more a curiosity than anything else. Do you mean by that then? I mean, because the British royal family are a curiosity, aren't they? Very much so, a fascination for many the world over, but perhaps a little bit more power than Dom Duarte might like to have himself. Just take the UK monarchy for the answer. What do you mean? Could you elaborate on that? That sunset looks very nuclear. Thank you very much. Not the same beach, but the same sun, I think we can say. I'm not invited, not watching it, the coronation. And Antonio F., sorry, I already have a commitment for May 6th. Can't attend the coronation. And Portugal was a monarchy until 1910. Well, let's find out a bit more about that then, shall we? Let me have a look at the Wikipedia page for the Portuguese royal family. We'll look at the Spanish and British as well. Others are available, of course, around the world. What do you think of them? You see, to me, I think it is an outdated anachronism. I mean, not that it matters too much what I think about these things, but I do believe it to be an outdated anachronism based on something quite useful. And you could say we're coming back to a time where we could find somebody regal and an example to look up to, quite a useful thing in these times, because our politicians aren't providing that, are they? We talked about Grant Cardone. It's somebody that Vitor looked up to. We have our heroes, don't we? We have our inspirations. We have leaders who don't seem to be very hitting the spot, let's say. They are not great leaders in the sense of being inspirational and leading mankind onward to greatness and goodness. Could that be the original purpose of a royal family, to be a shining example of what it is to be a human being? And that's why they had all the accoutrements of, the power and the glory, as it were, and all the accessories that showed them to be those great people. And then that's degenerated in recent millennia. But is that not the original idea of the monarchy, I wonder? Let's find out if that was the case with Manuel II. Don Manuel II, born in 1889, and I died in 1932. Oh, that's where I was confused. And it was he died in 1932, and the monarchy died in 1910, as Antonio F. is telling us. He was known as the Patriot, funny enough, and the unfortunate, being the last king here, the desventurado. He was the last king of Portugal, which in its own way would make a good chat GPT. Just type that in, what would that story or film look like? Ascending to the throne after the assassination of his father, King Carlos I. So an unfortunate precursor then, or pre-roll to his reign. And his brother was also assassinated. So a hideous position to be in, really, for a human being. The assassination of father and brother, father being King Carlos I and brother being Luis Felipe, the Prince Royal. Before ascending the throne, he held the title of Duke of Beja. His reign ended with the fall of the monarchy during the 5th of October 1910 revolution, the one that came before well, I think later revolutions in the plural. The big revolution, of course, that we'll be looking at next year, 50th anniversary thereof, is the Carnation Revolution. I think Deagle had something to say about this one. Sorry, I lost that message, that memo of Deagle. You might want to reassert it if you're still here. But the revolution of 1910, 5th of October, that's when the monarchy fell here in Portugal, and Manuel lived the rest of his life in exile in Twickenham. I think there's a little palace, isn't there, in Twickenham, in Middlesex, in the United Kingdom, in England. Middlesex, isn't that a funny name for a place? Not upper sex, not lower sex, Middlesex there. I don't know of places called upper sex and lower sex. I know of Essex and Sussex, but Middlesex is a place in the UK there. So that's the fate of the Portuguese royal family. Are there, Antonio F., can you tell us, are there people who still think, I mean, there were pretenders to the throne, as you've said. So here in Portugal, we have a royal family, strictly speaking, and there is a pretender to the throne who must be derived from. That's not the right word, is it? But a descendant of those Manuel there, who still may believe that they could take the throne in Portugal. Is that in any way likely here, my friend? Could you tell us? Or Norsex? There's Norsex. No, that's Norwich, isn't it? Rather than Norsex there. And they are, okay, this is good. This is good. Thank you. It ended in 1910. They're kept like a prized hog. You could argue that they are stabilizing continuity, but far too excessive is their privilege. I think Lord Gilchrist is saying. He's a lord, though. Can he actually comment on these matters? And they are supposed to set the example, not like act like EastEnders. I think you're absolutely right there. We have a call. Owen is joining us on the line. Good morning to you. Owen is coming through now to talk to us about the royal family. What do you think? Should we have one here in Portugal? Should we reinstate them, Owen?
No, never. Never.
Okay. Why?
Bring nothing but trouble.
They bring nothing but trouble. Okay. Were you with me on the first part, though, of my thinking about this? That there was a time when possibly a monarchy was a useful thing to look up to.
I've never thought of, sorry, this is my personal opinion, not a big monarchy. It's a bit like the one Tyson saying, what's the royals ever done for us?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, other people might like to answer that. So for you and your experience of royalty growing up in the UK, I'm guessing, not a yes from you, not a good thing to reinstall them in Portugal or America or anywhere anytime soon.
Oh, can you imagine King Biden?
Well, I think, to be fair,
that'd be like the Madness King George.
Yeah, true. No, I agree with you on that. And he isn't. I mean, I can understand he is a political hero to some people because he is the apex of their party, if you like. And so, if you want your party to be in power, you're quite open to the leader of the party being the leader of the country, and you would have possibly quite a lot of respect for that person. But I'm thinking if they do install a royal family in the United States as a way of uniting the states, you might say, they wouldn't look to the president. It would be a level above, wouldn't it? It would have to, and this is where we get into the problems, isn't it, with the monarchy, is they tend to take power through force and bloodshed rather than through common agreement. And I don't think the Americans are particularly up for common agreement at the moment. Would you agree? I think we might have lost Owen.
I'm one of these people. I'm one of these people that would it really truly work?
Yeah. Okay, we got a terrible line with you there, Owen, sadly. You may want to ring off and call back and tell us a bit more about your thoughts about the royal family. But you're not going to be going to the coronation then, by the sound. He's gone. We've lost him there. But it doesn't sound to me like Owen is going to be going to the coronation. He's not going to be flying back to the UK for that. Okay, calls 913-590-303. Thank you for that, Andrew Gilchrist. Yeah, not meant to be EastEnders. They're meant to set a good example. And when there is Sussex, Essex, Wessex, Middlesex, where is Norsex? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe that could be another conversation for another time. Lord Gilchrist, try getting Americans to bow to a monarch. Some might be up for it. You never know. Something we learned whilst we roamed around the UK was how much influence the royal family has on the economy of the countryside. Spoke with a local tenant farmer in Devon who explained the UK royals are like the mafia. It's so true. They own the land. I mean, that's how they operate, isn't it? Certainly in the UK. That Prince William was the best landlord he's ever had. Fixed up their plumbing, new windows for the farmhouse. Well, there would be a bowing before a monarch and some forelock tugging in that regard. So Prince William seen as a good landlord. But,
When you download the Baker's app, you have easy access to savings every day. Get the most out of weekly sales and receive personalized coupons to save on your favorite items, all while earning 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Baker's makes it easy to save while you shop, whether it's in-store or online, so you get the most value out of every trip, every time. Download the Baker's app now to save big on your next purchase. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Must have a digital account to redeem offers. Restrictions may apply. See site for details.
So he should be, you could argue, shouldn't he? If he's going to appoint himself a landlord, he should be a good one at that. He's got the funds, it would appear, to fix up the plumbing of the mere mortals who live in one of his residences. Let's have a look at then. Let's go to America and let's see what the New York Times are saying about the British royal family and how they're updating us or priming us for the upcoming coronation. This, I think, is meant to look a little bit like an invitation to the said event. The crowning, I want some horns here, I think, and the closest thing I might have for that is a little bit of, where's my cockerel gone? I think I might have lost it. There we go, the coronation, an FAQ by the Styles desk of the New York Times. Are you seeing this on your screen? You are. Phone on charge. Sorry about the poor connection. No, don't worry about that. It was good to hear from you and to hear your views. So let's have a look then at this invitation, this mock-up here to the crowning. So he isn't being coronated. He's being crowned. King Charles III and Queen Camilla. What is a coronation? It can refer to both the literal act of placing a crown on a monarch's head, as well as the religious ceremony during which a sovereign is crowned. Here, we're talking about the coronation of Charles III, the former Prince of Wales and the eldest son of Queen Elizabeth II, set to take place on Saturday, May the 6th. Charles became King of the Britons. King of the Britons, the moment his mother died last September. And that's where I think this, for me, my own personal opinion, and this is not what the New York Times is saying, that's where the sense of continuity, I think, collapsed with the death of Elizabeth II. Game-changing stuff. A reflection of so much more that's going on around the world, the crumbling of the establishments and the institutions. That's how I see it anyway. But accession to the throne is typically a somber affair. Yes, it's not going to be wear what you want and let's have a good dance, is it? I suppose in the street parties it will be, but not in the Westminster Abbey or wherever this is taking place. We'll find out. Accession to the throne is typically a somber affair, most often taking place under the pall of death. As happened with the Portuguese king in the last one anyway, after the death of his father and brother. A coronation, on the other hand, is pure celebration. Oh, I see. So the accession was the somber part, and the coronation will be a pure celebration. What time will this happen? King Charles' coronation service is expected to start mid-morning London time, meaning that it will begin very early in the morning in the United States. Will our American friends who are watching here be getting up for that, I wonder? If you're in Britain, you won't have to look far. BBC, ITV, and Sky News are all expected to televise the ceremony live. Not doing so would be seen as a kind of anti-royal move, wouldn't it, I think? And even the ones who pretend to do it ironically, I think, know where their bread is buttered. It is a crucial part of the British establishment, as I think John has alluded to from his conversations in the United Kingdom. Stand away, stand aside, call for the end of the British royal family, and you do kind of cut off a supply line potentially. We've got another call coming through. Other British and American television networks have yet to announce their plans, but for live coverage, including including video and real-time analysis, NewYorkTimes.com is the only place to be. Let's see who's calling now. I thought we might be able to arouse the good Lord. Not that one, but Lord Gilchrist. He's on the phone now. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Bon dia.
So you're a bit disgruntled. Bon dia to you. You didn't get an invite, so you're not going.
Well, partially, but I kind of think you're in the same stable as me. It's maybe an antiquated situation that, you know, the last few royal houses of Europe are clinging on their privilege. But there's plenty of countries and other republics that, you know, have done very well without a monarchy.
Yeah. Okay. And so how would it work then? You did ask T-Duck if he fancied a monarch. And he said, I've never smoked a monarch, but I'm willing to learn. No. That's not what it means. Oh, and what's this? Apparently there's an earthquake last night. Sorry, I thought it was breaking news of an earthquake in action. Oh. But it was a 3.4 on the Richter scale, hitting Sintra, Torres Vedras, Amadora, and Mafra municipalities. Didn't feel a thing. Thank you for that, Antonio F. So, but certainly the British royal family might feel a thing. If they are brought to a close. How would that happen? Speaking as a Lord Gilchrist, how could that possibly happen? He's just about to be crowned. Is he told that he no longer has a job? Is it scaled down? How could it happen in the UK?
Well, the mechanism is largely irrelevant. I mean, what I would do is turn ourselves into a republic, and they could be a prince by name only, you know, as a nod to their heritage. But, you know, essentially I would appropriate all their wealth for lands and redistribute it to the people of the country. The Crown is, I think, the largest landowner in the UK, owning about 50% of the surface of the land.
Really?
You know, that, yeah, absolutely huge. The Crown obviously inherits estates that have no will. So they've amassed a huge amount of wealth in that regard. And they get an annual purse from the Treasury, which is taxpayers' money. So they're kept like a prize hog in the ultimate privilege of palaces and castles. And I don't know what we get back.
No, this is becoming an increasingly awkward debate, I think, isn't it, for any royalists?
When you've got people relying on food banks, you know, and live in abject poverty, to have such a diverse scale of wealth in the UK is to kind of smear people's noses with people that you can, you know, wheel out for display on you know, formal occasions. Okay, it's a stabilising force. There is an argument for that. People wheel out the old argument of, well, they're good for tourism. People would visit the UK without a monarchy as well. Yeah. That's just the thing. So yeah. That's a non-argument as far as I'm concerned. But you know, I don't know. Elizabeth had what you could say is a command of soft power. I don't know if Charles or onwards would ever have that kind of influence again. I mean, the Queen spent a long life on the throne forming that soft power, which now sadly is gone.
Yes.
You know, so yeah. I don't see what the point is of retaining it when there's no more chance of that ever happening again. So
would you agree with me then, Lord Gilchrist, that this is another symbol of institutions and establishments breaking down in the process that humanity is going through at the moment, or am I overplaying it?
Well, I probably would agree on that. It's I mean, I'm for a republic anyway. One thing I've always liked about the European countries is they basically dispatch their royalty in many ways. The French are a good example, yes. A little extreme, but you know, the rest of Europe have done absolutely fine and dandy without a monarchy. You know, and they have great tourism and they have still a great culture. I think the UK has clung on to it. You know how the UK never changes much houses are still being lived in that are 500 years old, for example.
Yes.
The UK doesn't like to waste stuff, right? So it kind of clings on to these kind of old things that you just keep getting recycled and reused. But I think the monarchy is just a big hangover of what was from centuries ago, right? So
Agreed.
And certainly if you went back to Victoria or before, they were certainly a lot more powerful in that regard. But I think come the end of Elizabeth's reign, like you've seen the end of you saw the end of like almost the peak of the modern royalty. I think it's now just a downslope. And so with that kind of forecast from me and probably other people, I think this coronation will be telling us to, how many actually Britons watch it as opposed to the rest of the world. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the rest of the world do look in with real curiosity as to the UK royal house. But I think domestically, I think they've overplayed it, or they've long overplayed it.
Interesting. Here's another thought for you. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to ask you to nominate a subject to talk about tomorrow in our phone-in half hour, because we're broadening our horizons here. We're not just talking about whether we're Iberian or not, but any world issue that we could talk about in our characteristically open-minded and open-hearted way. So I'll come back to you on that. But some might say, Lord Gilchrist, that the politicians now behave like the royalty are a bit of a sideshow, and they may come or they may persist or they may go. But in fact, modern politicians behave like modern royalty because they have incredible power over societies to take wealth in the form of taxation. And that's not a debate, is it? That's just you're told what you're going to pay. And you get a ballot box. I guess that might be a distinction between royalty and democracy, is that you do get to vote once every 4 or 5 years to decide who is going to decide how much money they're taking from you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But could you say that? Would you agree that the politicians see themselves like a modern royalty, and it might be good? Can you see a time when, in the same way we're saying we should be a republic, we could see ourselves as free people without politicians behaving like kings?
Well, you raise an interesting point there. I mean, look at where our politicians are kind of created. It's the Oxbridge, Harrow Eaton kind of privileged set already. All politicians now are multi-millionaires. And you've got the likes of Johnson that was in the Bullingdon Club, right? So, I think if you want to have real change, you need to flesh out some of this privilege. These upper echelons need to be, also politicians like royalty. If they're going to behave like that, they should set an example. We have more sleaze in UK politics, probably global politics, than I think I can ever remember.
Yeah.
And if you look at the appalling state of, say, UK politics, we've had as many PMs in as many years, right? In recent times, I've never known a shower like it. Let's be honest.
That's a great word. That's a word my dad used to use. A shower. They are a shower. T-Duck hates it when the US representatives call themselves leaders. Agreeing with you, I think they're not really leaders, are they? They are takers. And they, yes, I find that fascinating that they might, in a funny way, be the new royalty. And without bloodshed, they take what they want. And we have had this massive shift of wealth, haven't we, from the poor to the ultra rich, the new royals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, if you want true democracy, everyone has to abide by the same rule of law. And this is one thing that I see. There's no accountability, seemingly, in the royal family or indeed in politicians. Where is the accountability for them abusing or, buying off their way out of legal entanglements?
Yes.
The everyday commoner can't do that. And so why is it, again, the privileged few that holds a lot of the cash seem to be beyond reproach? And this is another thing why I think I have indignancy for these kind of people. That they, I think there needs to be a big humbling in those who serve. things like the politicians need to live more modestly like the rest of us.
And
they don't need to have amassed fortunes, right?
Well
and
said.
Also,
well said.
I'm up for a fair taxation system where everyone pays the same in percentage terms. So rich people would certainly, have to contribute their share of amassed wealth. I mean, I'm all for fair taxation. I'm all for joining that. But as we know, that the very rich pay almost no tax. That's just how it's geared up.
Yep, well said. It's funny because they create the law by which that mechanism can happen. Isn't it funny? So they are
who signs up on the law, Carl? Who ultimately rubber stamps the law?
Yes, of course, the lords and the commons. Yes, the elites. Very good. So I think we're off to a cracking start. You will nominate a new subject, which could be the baton that's carried from this particular debate to the next. Every time, apparently, this isn't true, but it could be an interesting experiment. Every time you click the like button, King Chuckles earns a slap across the face. That's only a joke, everybody.
Have you seen the new merchandise, by the way? I have to just bring this up. Have you seen the new merchandise? Have you seen the new banknotes?
What are they like?
Have you seen the tea towels and the mugs and things? Well, my wife had a great one. She showed me. It was a double-handled mug with Charles's face in the middle.
It's a beauty.
So the handle was represented as his.
Yeah.
It is a cracker. But there's always the raw ceramics are out now, and it's like, oh dear, they've already started merchandising, which is, you kind of liken it to like movie studios with like making lunch boxes for kiddies films, right? It's the kind of same nonsense all over again.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm over it.
Yes. Well said. And the mafia. I doubt the Windsors are involved in prostitution, illegal narcotics, and murder for hire. I could be wrong. I couldn't possibly say. But
I take the piss on that one.
Yes, yeah. But it does appear that the royals and the politicians do have a different approach to the law. Let's leave it like that, shall we? And if there is going to be a transition of power, let's hope for a Portuguese one, where the people who we don't want lording themselves over us, literally, go and live elsewhere. That's a Portuguese solution rather than a French one. A French transition that you alluded to.
Well, my summation would be no. You don't need a monarchy. I mean, only in title alone. There's a lot of these kind of cousins and family members that are called Duke or Viscount or something. They're basically just a title and nothing else, right? They're never going to be in the main circle, right? So I use the likeness of mafia, where it's all like my cousin, my uncle, my godfather, but they're not in the main circle. You've only got the controlling lot. Oh look, there's me and Alfie.
However, when Prince Charles is being crowned, he might be offering a few promises. I think that goes with the territory, doesn't it? In a kind of Godfather kind of way. Yeah,
lip service to.
If you're wondering what our caller looked like, there he is, Lord Gilchrist, on a day off out of his official ermine robes and ceremonial garb.
With my regal hound.
With your regal hound, for sure. So we're a few minutes over today. Nothing wrong with that. It's been an interesting conversation. Thank you for everybody for taking part. What do you nominate for tomorrow on the Iberian FM phone-in? It doesn't have to be about Spain and Portugal. It can be the big issues that we're facing. I think we're in another time, Andrew, where, when we're in 2020 March and we didn't know what the hell was going on with the pandemic. I think we've got a generalized state of that at the moment. So what are you picking for tomorrow?
Right. Well, let's springboard off from today's discussion, and then throw it actually at the politicians. Equally. And I think where are we letting them go wrong? Because ultimately, in a democracy, we have the power to vote them out of power. But there seems to be some sort of established flexibility with procedures and protocols, right? So, how can we hold politicians to account? Because a few years ago, they were to be respected and, admired for their responsibilities. Now it's any chancellor seems to get their foot in the door and use a cash machine.
All right, mate. So in a nutshell, I look at
Liz Truss and Quartang for that. So anyway, throw out politicians for tomorrow.
All right. So in a nutshell, what's your question? In the way that today we had, should Portugal have a royal family? What would be your one-liner question to inspire the phone-in tomorrow?
How can politicians become more credible or credible again?
Oh, accountability. That's the word.
Accountability, something like that.
How can we make politicians more accountable?
Accountable in future.
Very good. I like that. So we'll leave it there for today. Thank you for calling in. Thank you, Owen, for calling in. All welcome. Tell your mates around the world if they want to call in and spice it up. It can be a rant.
Also,
go on.
One last thing. Please hit the like button. Press subscribe. Think of becoming YouTube member of the GMP. Buy Carl a coffee on coffee. Is it coffee you do or coffee?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Well, if anyone goes to goodmorningportugal.com, you're the best, mate.
Sustain this community. Do goodmorningportugal.com. Do all of those things. Like, subscribe, press the bell icon, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, bless you. Do what he says and join us again tomorrow. And we'll have some Good Morning Portugal fun. Gumper gathering from 8:30, of course.
I just thought you don't comment one word, guillotine.
No. No, that is not how we roll.
Okay.
That is open-minded, but it's not very open-hearted. So I uphold.
It's pretty effective.
Yes, it's also effective, but it's not how we roll. That's how heads rolled back in the day, but it's not how we roll here on Iberian FM Phone-in. Open-hearted,
that is true.
open-minded, and some of the things that you will not hear or talk about or hear being spoken about on the news. Nice job, Lord Gilchrist. See you tomorrow, mate. Take care. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
The holidays start here at Baker's with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. Whether you're making a traditional roasted turkey or spicy turkey tacos, your go-to shrimp cocktail, or your first Cajun risotto, Baker's has all the freshest ingredients to embrace your traditions. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked-in low prices tags and enjoy extra savings throughout the store. Baker's, fresh for everyone.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.